So welcome back, guys, and Happy New Year to you all. So this week's lecture will be kind of supersized because we're basically going to be covering a few weeks worth of questions, and in short, it will be a little bit longer than usual, but hopefully by the time I finish this video, you should be able to now understand some of the concepts of the previous few weeks a little bit better. A few things with regards to admin. So please note that this week, your first short answer questions are due. And the second thing is I've been looking a lot at your answers, and whilst it's really, really good that you guys are providing answers to the review questions, what Georgia and I really want to see is for you to really kind of flesh out some of your answers a little bit more. That is, kind of treat us as a fellow student, and we really don't know that much about economics, and just sort of really flesh some of the things out, such as the definitions, maybe stepping us through the working a little bit more, and basically sort of treat us as a fellow student. Because at the end of the day, when we're marking, the more working you show, the more we're able to give you marks. And that's really important going into the future, because in many ways, sometimes you may have made an arithmetic error, but conceptually, if you have it all right, then we're very happy to give you, most of the credit. So that's the second main announcement I'd really like to make. So moving on, please be aware that there is the assessment due, and more importantly, please stay active, right? And please be patient. As you've probably all seen over the teaching recess, we really didn't do much. Well, Georgia and I thought that we could have a bit of a siesta, as in the textbook, but unfortunately this has come back to haunt us. So please be patient with us as we're answering and examining all of your posts. And most certainly, what you'll notice is that most, if not all, of your posts will be answered by either Georgia, myself, or Ashley, because like I've kind of stressed to you throughout this whole semester, we're very, very keen on nurturing your understanding. And in many ways, I kind of emphasize that in all of the responses that I give to you. This is why I always ask a little more question to probe your knowledge a bit deeper, so that you're able to really think about the problem a little bit more. So that's sort of the philosophy behind it. So one of the things which I did notice is this idea of comparative advantage. Most of you seem to have understood what comparative advantage is. That is, if an action relative to the same person, for example, if you're both producing rabbits and the alternative is, for example, bananas, comparative advantage would suggest that the person with the lower opportunity cost has comparative advantage. So it seems that a lot of you kind of really understood that, and I really, really hope that that is the case. But what we've also noticed is that on the discussion forums, or more precisely, the discussion topics, there are some statements such as, there's a comparative advantage for me to go to university. And whilst, that may be true, you have to have some sort of comparison to actually make that statement. It's not something that is just a statement on its own. It needs a comparator for the actual statement to make sense. So that's the first thing I'd really like to really drill home. The second thing is this idea of opportunity cost. A lot of you have kind of said that, well, the opportunity cost of me taking the summer course is, for example, me going on holiday. But I really want you to think about the problem a little bit deeper. What exactly is the opportunity cost? For example, like for many of you, I've basically asked a very simple question. How would you value it, right? This is why I want you to think about when you actually provide the answers to the review questions, because this is the main source in which we can see where there may be gaps in your knowledge. And if you are able to answer these questions completely, then we can help you to the best of our ability. Okay, so that's kind of the general trends that we've kind of noticed to date.